You don't have to break the bank or buy into overhyped marketing to get a world-class electric vehicle. In fact, some of the absolute best EVs on the road right now are the ones that critics and buyers completely underestimated. From surprising performance upgrades to shocking interior quality, these are the 9 electric cars that defied the odds and proved to be total game changers in 2026. Number 9. Kia EV4. The Kia EV4 lands as the surprise value play of 2026, and the reason is simple. It's a genuinely long-range electric sedan that starts around $39,000. That price undercuts most of its EV competition while delivering numbers that used to demand a $50,000 budget. Kia targets up to 330 miles of EPA range on the higher-range battery, which is the headline figure nobody expected from an affordable four-door at this money. Even the standard battery still returns a usable 235 miles, enough to wipe out range anxiety for daily commuting and weekend trips alike. Power comes from a single front-mounted electric motor producing 201 horsepower, good for a 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint of around 7 seconds. That's not supercar territory, but it's brisk, smooth, and perfectly matched to how Americans actually drive day to day. The EV4 rides on Kia's proven EGMP platform, the same architecture that earned strong reviews in pricier siblings. So the engineering credibility is already there rather than being some unproven experiment. What truly sells the EV4 is the math. For roughly $39,000, buyers get more range per dollar than almost anything else in the segment. And that single number reshapes the entire conversation around affordable EVs. Pair that with Kia's reputation for long warranties and low running costs, and the ownership case becomes genuinely difficult to argue against, especially for first-time EV buyers watching every dollar. The EV4 ultimately proves that affordability and real capability no longer have to be a compromise, and that's exactly why this quiet overachiever kicks off our list as the electric car almost nobody saw coming, yet everybody should now be paying attention to. Number 8. BMW iX3. The BMW iX3 re-enters the conversation in 2026 as the electric SUV that finally makes a luxury badge feel like a genuine bargain in capability terms. Starting at $60,000, the iX3 isn't cheap, but what shocked the industry is how much engineering it stacks onto that sticker. BMW claims an EPA range between 383 and 434 miles, a figure that vaults the iX3 to the top of the luxury electric SUV class and humbles rivals charging far more for far less distance. That range number alone reframed what buyers should expect at this price. Under the floor sits BMW's new class architecture, the most significant platform leap the company has made in years. The dual-motor xDrive setup pumps out 463 horsepower, with output climbing toward 509 in tuned form, and the iX3 launches to 60 miles per hour in roughly 3.6 seconds in testing. That's serious pace from a family-friendly SUV, blending everyday usability with the kind of straight-line muscle that used to require an M badge and a much larger check. What makes the iX3 the surprise of the segment is the balance. The new 800-volt electrical system enables blistering DC fast charging. The chassis tuning earned praise as some of the best BMW has produced, and the efficiency means that long-range figure holds up on real highways rather than just on paper. For $60,000, the iX3 delivers range, speed, and polish that competitors near $70,000 struggle to match. Number 7. Nissan Leaf. The Nissan Leaf returns for 2026 completely reinvented, and the transformation is so thorough that it earns a spot nobody predicted for the car that practically invented the affordable EV. Gone is the awkward hatchback of old, replaced by a sleek subcompact crossover starting at $30,000. That price makes it one of the cheapest electric vehicles in America, yet the new Leaf finally fixes the flaws that held earlier versions back, turning a budget pioneer into a legitimately competitive choice. The headline change sits beneath the body. Nissan ditched the old air-cooled battery for a modern 75 kilowatt-hour liquid-cooled pack, the upgrade owners begged for over a decade. That single engineering decision means consistent performance, faster charging at up to 150 kilowatt, and far better longevity. Range now stretches well past 300 miles on the bigger battery, finally erasing the range anxiety that defined the Leaf's reputation for years and kept skeptical buyers at arm's length. Power comes from a 214 horsepower electric motor producing 261 pound-feet of torque, a meaningful jump that makes the new Leaf feel genuinely quick around town rather than merely adequate. Acceleration is brisk, the ride is composed, and the switch to a native NACS charging port means easy access to America's largest fast-charging network without clunky adapters. What makes the 2026 Leaf the surprise comes down to value. For $30,000, buyers get modern range, proper battery cooling, and real performance from a nameplate that finally caught up to the times. The Leaf proves that the car that started the affordable EV movement still has the ambition to lead it, and at this price, it demands a second look. Number 6. Hyundai Ioniq 5. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 has been a critical darling for years, but the 2026 update is what makes it a genuine surprise all over again by sharpening every weak spot buyers once complained about. Starting around $43,000, the Ioniq 5 now finally includes a native NACS charging port and a larger battery, two changes that quietly transform the ownership experience. The retro-futuristic styling still turns heads, but it's the substance behind it that pushes this SUV back into must-see territory. Range is the standout story. The 2026 Ioniq 5 now delivers up to 318 miles of EPA-rated range, a healthy bump that pairs with one of the fastest charging systems in the entire industry. Thanks to its 800-volt architecture, the Ioniq 5 can fast charge from 10 to 80% in as little as 20 minutes, a figure that embarrasses far pricier electric rivals and makes road trips genuinely painless rather than an exercise in patience. Power scales to suit the buyer. The base rear-drive models start modestly, but the top configurations produce up to 320 horsepower, delivering brisk, confident acceleration that feels far more premium than the price suggests. The EGMP platform underneath remains one of the best in the business, balancing a quiet ride with sharp, planted handling. What makes the 2026 Ioniq 5 a continued surprise is how it refuses to coast on past praise. For roughly $43,000, it offers long range, class-leading charging speed, and genuine performance in one polished package. Hyundai took an already excellent EV and quietly made it better, proving that the most complete electric SUV of 2026 keeps raising its own bar. Number 5. Lexus RZ. The Lexus RZ stunned skeptics in 2026 by addressing the exact criticisms that held its first version back, transforming a lukewarm debut into a genuinely compelling luxury electric SUV. Starting at $47,000, the RZ now offers a meaningfully better package than before, and the upgrades are substantial enough that buyers who dismissed the original owe it a fresh look. Lexus didn't just refresh the RZ, it re-engineered the parts that mattered most. The biggest fix is range. The base model now delivers 221 horsepower and an EPA-rated 301 miles, a dramatic improvement over the disappointing figures of the outgoing car. That range gain alone makes the RZ viable for the kind of long-distance driving luxury buyers expect, finally putting it on equal footing with rivals that previously left it behind on the spec sheet. Performance now spans a genuinely exciting spread. Buyers can choose anywhere from the efficient 221 horsepower 350e up to the 402 horsepower 550e, which rockets to 60 miles per hour in just 4 seconds. That top variant brings real driving excitement to a brand often accused of playing it safe, while the standard models prioritize the smooth, hushed refinement Lexus built its reputation on. What makes the 2026 RZ the surprise comes down to credibility. For $47,000, buyers get Lexus reliability, a vastly improved range figure, and a performance ceiling that finally matches the badge. The RZ proves that a rough first attempt doesn't have to define a nameplate, and that the most improved luxury EV of 2026 came from the brand fewest people expected to deliver it. Number 4. Chevrolet Bolt. The Chevrolet Bolt makes a triumphant return that almost nobody expected, reborn for a new generation and once again wearing the crown as America's affordable EV champion. Starting at $28,000, the new Bolt undercuts nearly every electric vehicle on the market while fixing the single biggest flaw of the beloved original. Chevy listened to owners, and the result is a budget EV that no longer asks buyers to sacrifice the conveniences that matter most. The headline upgrade is charging. The old Bolt was hamstrung by painfully slow DC fast charging, and the 2026 model finally solves it, charging from 10 to 80% in about 25 minutes thanks to 150 kW capability and a native NACS port. That fix alone transforms the Bolt from a city-only commuter into a car that can actually handle the occasional road trip without testing the driver's patience. Power comes from a 210 horsepower electric motor borrowed from the larger Equinox EV, giving the compact Bolt genuinely lively acceleration around town. Range lands at a practical 255 miles, more than enough for daily driving and weekend errands, and the efficient platform keeps running costs remarkably low for buyers watching every dollar. What makes the new Bolt such a welcome surprise is the math, plain and simple. For $28,000, buyers get modern range, fast charging, and proven Chevy practicality in a package that almost no competitor can touch on price. The Bolt proves that affordable electric motoring isn't dead. It just needed a second act, and this reborn hatchback may be the smartest value play of the entire 2026 EV landscape. Number 3. Jeep Recon. The Jeep Recon shocked the industry in 2026 by proving an electric SUV can be a serious, trail-ready Jeep rather than a compromised city crossover wearing the badge. Starting at $66,000 for the launch Moab trim, the Recon isn't cheap, but it delivers something no other electric SUV does: genuine, hardcore off-road capability backed by staggering power. For buyers who refuse to believe an EV could earn the Jeep name, the Recon is a direct and convincing answer. The numbers are jaw-dropping. The Recon's dual-motor, all-wheel drive setup produces a combined 650 horsepower and 620 pound-feet of torque, launching this rugged machine to 60 mph in just 3.6 seconds. That kind of instant electric muscle is a genuine advantage off-road, where torque on demand helps crawl over obstacles that would stall a gas engine. And on pavement it makes the Recon outrageously quick for something built to tackle the wilderness. Beneath the aggressive styling sits a 100 kilowatt-hour battery and the kind of off-road hardware Jeep loyalists demand, ensuring the Recon can venture where most EVs wouldn't dare. The trade-off is range, which lands around 250 miles, a figure that reflects the priority placed on capability and power over outright efficiency. What makes the Recon the surprise it is comes down to authenticity. For $66,000, Jeep delivers an electric SUV that genuinely lives up to the brand's rugged heritage instead of diluting it. The Recon proves that going electric doesn't mean going soft, and for adventure-minded buyers, it's the EV that finally made the off-road faithful take battery power seriously. Number 2. Kia EV6. The Kia EV6 continues to overdeliver in 2026, refusing to fade as new arrivals arrive and instead proving that Kia's breakout electric SUV remains one of the smartest buys on the market. Starting around $43,000, the EV6 packs a combination of range, speed, and charging performance that still embarrasses vehicles costing thousands more. Years after its debut, the EV6 keeps surprising buyers who assume a car this accomplished must carry a far higher price. Charging remains its secret weapon. Built on Kia's 800-volt EGMP platform, the EV6 fast charges with the best in the business, recovering a huge chunk of range in well under 20 minutes at a capable station. Range stretches past 300 miles on the long-range battery, giving the EV6 the reach to handle real road trips while the rapid charging makes those stops genuinely brief rather than a chore. Performance covers an impressive spread. Base models start at a sensible 225 horsepower, but the AWD GT line pumps out 320 horsepower and sprints to 60 miles per hour in just 4.5 seconds. That blend of efficiency at the bottom and genuine thrills at the top means there's an EV6 for nearly every buyer, whether the priority is value or outright speed. What keeps the EV6 near the top of this list is its sheer staying power. For roughly $43,000, it offers blistering charging, strong range, and real performance in a package that still feels fresh and desirable. The EV6 proves that the standout electric SUV of a few years ago can remain a standout today. And in 2026, it's still one of the most rewarding EVs the money can buy. Number 1. Hyundai Ioniq 6. The Hyundai Ioniq 6 claims the top spot as the electric car that most thoroughly defied expectations in 2026, blending striking aerodynamic design with efficiency figures that quietly humble the entire segment. Starting around $43,000, the Ioniq 6 delivers the kind of range per dollar that reshapes the affordable electric sedan conversation entirely. It's the rare EV that looks like a concept car yet backs that drama with substance buyers can actually use every day. Efficiency is the headline that earns the Ioniq 6 its crown. That slippery, low-drag shape isn't just for show. It helps the long-range model stretch well beyond 300 miles on a single charge, making it one of the most efficient electric sedans on sale. Paired with Hyundai's 800-volt architecture, the Ioniq 6 fast charges from 10 to 80% in roughly 18 to 20 minutes, a figure that turns long journeys into a quick coffee break rather than a lengthy wait. Power suits every kind of driver. The standard versions deliver 225 horsepower for confident, smooth daily driving, while the range now climbs all the way to the ferocious Ioniq 6N, which produces up to 641 horsepower with its boost engaged. That spread means the Ioniq 6 can be a frugal commuter or a genuine performance machine depending on the buyer's appetite. What makes the Ioniq 6 the biggest surprise of 2026 is the complete package. For around $43,000, it offers class-leading efficiency, lightning-fast charging, and a design unlike anything else on the road. The Ioniq 6 proves that the smartest, most forward-thinking electric car of the year was hiding in plain sight, and it rightfully tops this list as the EV nobody saw coming. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.